Hi, welcome to another of Mystic Dude's Division 2 videos. Today we're going to be looking at the Ravenous, maybe doing a bit of a compare job to the Baker's Dozen, another widely used rifle. I don't have a decent enough M1A to compare it against, so I'll use my Baker's Dozen. Before we start, big shout out to the guys from the Broken Raven clan who I ran the raid with. Cheers guys, thanks for taking me through this and helping me get this weapon. I'd say to anybody who's looking to raid and haven't got an active clan or enough friends to run it with, jump onto Broken Raven Discord and check out these guys. They've got two clans, they're pretty active, they're very knowledgeable, they're decent guys, they're good players, they will help you complete any content that you're stuck with. So yeah, moving on, here's the Ravenous. Very nice looking weapon, I think, in my opinion. So the build we're just going to run it with, I'll just quickly show you my stats. I'm just running off 60 crit chance, which is cat 190, just short 191 crit damage. So let's have a look what it says. So it has a primary, a bit like the Merciless. So basically they broke the Merciless and they've now put another variation in. Yeah, good job devs again. Merciless was a great weapon. Bit of a niche weapon, but it was a good weapon. But like everything else in the game, they seem to be intent on breaking stuff. But anyway, moving on to the Ravenous. Talent, Gary and Frecky. So basically you fire 2 bullets because it's a double barrel and it puts a primer on it. And each primer has a different effect. So from the right shoulder you had an offensive primer, from the left you had a defensive. Once you've got full stacks, swap into the other shoulder, detonates a primer, giving you either weapon damage or bonus armor and a 10% amplified damage to armor plates. Now, as I understand, on the shooting range, the 10% damage to armor plates doesn't work, or it doesn't show, so you might not be able to see that here. The build I'm running is just 3-piece Providence. I've only got Overwatch on my chest piece. I've got the Overlord, Fox's Prey, which I was lucky enough to get maxed out, and I've got 1-piece Group of Sombra. On my backpack I've got Companion, and all I need to do to get that buff is stick my fixer drone out on top of me. That'll give me a static 10%. I don't have a decent enough backpack with vigilance on to show you how that affects it. Now the damage from the Ravenous, as you can see, it does weapon damage. So if you was running glass cannon, vigilance, or other weapon damaging increases, you probably get a different result than I'm going to get. So I'm not going to use my Companion. I'll probably get the buff from staying in cover automatically. So right, so first we'll show the armor buffs. So when we shoot the boss, you'll see a blue target appear underneath him. That shows that's the armor one. And then when we change the shoulders, and you can see now our armor bar is more or less doubled, just over armor. And from the right shoulder, we get a red buff on the boss, or on the enemy. And when we swap to the left, it explodes. So that's how it works. So as you can see, we can't see the armor debuff on him. So normal body shots are hitting on this build about 192 with 561 crit. When we swapped to the explosion, that was 6 million. That was 5.7 million. $7 million. It seems a bit spiky on the damage. $7.6. I have had it hitting 10 million, and my friend who's got one has had his hitting up to 12 million. So just as a normal rifle, we're doing 192 and 561 crit, so it's not too bad. It's reasonable. And it's the same both sides. Right, the other thing I want to mention is that it shows on the description at the bottom, primer effectiveness is doubled at 10 stacks. Now that threw me at first because to get full stacks I only have to fire 5 shots. As you can see, there is a full bar underneath the enemy. Now as I understand it, it's because each bullet deals 1 stack. As you're firing 2 bullets, if you hit with both bullets you get 1 stack. See if I can cause it to miss. Yeah, I only got 1 bullet there. It's actually very difficult not to hit with both bullets, so I won't think that's going to be an issue to you. So let's swap on the same build. Let's swap to the baker's dozen. That's changed our stats slightly, a little bit less crit damage. $184.8 as opposed to 190. So we'll now at the baker's dozen. So we're getting just short of 2.6 million crits, just short of 1.5 million hits. So personally, I feel the baker's dozen is stronger. So we'll just put it onto a named enemy. We'll see how many shots it takes to kill. 1, 2, 3. 3 shots to kill. Let's try on body shots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 body shots. Swap to Ravenous. We'll go with edge shots first. 1, 2. And let's give it a chance to kill it. So it didn't do it on 3 shots. 4. Let's kill it on 5th. So yeah, we were still able to kill it on the 5th shot on a body. That's because the primary is higher. Just missing on headshot. Probably depends on if your first couple of shots are crits as well. So there's not a lot of difference in time to kill. So basically it comes down to pros and cons. So the pros is you've got a nice, if this was an armoured mob, you can prime it up and then get a nice big hit on him, which will probably do health damage on a lot of them. The other pro is that with the armor buff, it gives you a bit of survivability, which is not a bad thing, you know, with the grenade damage that we've got in this game, which they've never fixed. It's not a bad thing to have that bit of extra survivability. The downside of it is that while I'm in the shooting range here, I can quickly swap from left to right, just like that. In some places, if you was in cover like this, as you can see, my vision is slightly obscured. Likewise, if I was at this side, you know, it could cause problem with movement if you was on a ledge above an enemy shooting down and then you had to swap shoulders. Obviously you can see more one way than another way, so that could cause a bit of an issue. If you're firing from a stood up position, you would have to get used to swapping. Which I must admit was a skill I only learnt when I got this weapon. It's not something I've ever had to do before. I didn't even know I could swap sides. For all the hours I've put in, such a simple task like that, I wasn't even aware I could do it. So yeah, you know, it's nice to learn new things. As you can see, you can swap. So that's the downside. It can be a bit fickle to use. It can be a lot of fun. It can have its niche uses, I would think, on certain tech, as its explosive damage, and on armoured mobs. As opposed to another rifle like the Bacon dozen. I mean, this is just so much easier to use. You know, my shots are low there. Put my companion out, as you can see the difference having me striker out. So yeah, so that's the Ravenous, guys. Nice looking weapon. Little bit underwhelming as an exotic. A little bit clunky to use. But it's nice to have something different. It would have been nicer if they'd not brought the Merciless, because that was a nice weapon. And while we're here, we'll just compare the damage to the Merciless. As you can see, that's a maxed out Merciless. Now this works with binary triggers, similar. So you prime it by shooting and prime it by letting go. but that didn't do a lot of damage. Let's just change this difficulty here, and we don't kill it. We can... $1.1 million, and that's supposed to be 500% amplified damage, dealing 500% weapon damage explosion. So I don't know if I'm missing something here, but yeah, it's probably around about that. It's additive, not multiplicative. So it was a great weapon, but as with a lot of things in Division at the moment, it's a fantastic game to play, especially if you're playing with friends, but it's so frustrating. We feel like we're banging our heads against a brick wall with the constant nerfs and constant changes, which just takes a bit of the fun out of the game. So if any devs happen to watch this, which I doubt it because I don't have a lot of followers, sort these exotics out, guys. They're supposed to be the best weapons in the game to use, but every one of them has something about it which makes it not really much of a viable choice. The Nemesis used to be a good weapon. It still could be. It just takes that long to prime up. It's not usable for most situations. The Mantis needs bigger base damage on it. It's again, it's not. It's a niche weapon. Sweet Dreams, niche weapon, which you've seen people using it raid on first boss. They're not using it to shoot people. They're using it for its Sandman melee attacks. It's a bloody weapon. We want to shoot it. Just give us a club. If you want us to kill something with a hit, give us the club. Bullet King, still a viable weapon, and the sustained damage on it is great. So that is not too bad. Its base damage, I would like to see a little bit higher, but it is still a really usable weapon. Chatterbox, niche weapon. It's great. You can put it with a shield build. If you know how to build it, you get the right pieces. Lady Death, well, we all know about, well, say we all know, we should know about Lady Death, because that's been the meta in the PvP. And because of that, they're undoubtedly going to change this weapon. And once again, PvP will have an effect on the PvE. I don't use submachine guns myself, you know, but yeah, if you like a high crit chance, crit damage build, then Lady Death is usable. Eagle Bearer, still probably one of the best AIs in the game. I don't use it myself. I just don't like the tenacity buff. It's alright if you're using it in a team. You've got time to, you know, use that buff to its strength. But yeah, again, a bit underwhelming. Chameleon, there were big things about this when it come out. Big things. And I've seen loads of content creators making builds, and they were determined to try and make it work. Nobody uses it anymore. Ruthless, that's just a copy of the Merciless. The Diamondback, nice rifle. Yeah, you either like the way it looks or you hate it. It's got decent base damage, but it's got a difficult talent. That agonizing bite, it still targets enemies. Might be on the other side of the room or even behind a wall. And we'll just stick it on. We might as well compare it while we're doing this. Same build. So this is Diamondback. Nice base damage. Now you can see where that's targeted. That's targeted over there. It's actually targeted one that's led down. It's not even active. Can you see that? Or am I wrong? Is it targeted that one? No, it's targeted that one. And we can see we've got the buff now, the fangs. See, decent damage. Where's that one targeting? That's targeting the moving target now. So yeah, it's the little things like that. It's the little things like that that they fail to rework and redesign, even after loads of community feedback. That just makes some of the aspects of the game feel frustrating and a little bit underwhelming. Anyway, back to the Ravenous. I hope you enjoyed my little test on it. I hope you're lucky enough to get one yourself. And if you do, let me know how it feels playing with it. I have run an heroic with it, and I didn't do too bad. I think my kill rate was a bit down on it, but that could have been down to players I were with. There, you know, they might have been strong players as well. So, but yeah, if you're lucky enough to get it, let me know how it feels and how you do with it. And hopefully I'll see you again with another video soon. Mystic Dude out. Bye bye.